Hello, welcome to Forensic Science. I'm excited that you've decided to take this class. I really enjoy teaching it. We're going to learn all about different techniques that are used to solve crimes and applications of science for those purposes. Pardon me. Let me take a quick little tour of the website to give you an idea of what to do to get you started this week. When you come to the class, you'll see this cool little picture, and then you'll see announcements. And what I try to do is I try to give you information about what's due that week, resources, links to videos, all sorts of good stuff. So you want to make sure that you check out the announcements every time you come to class. This one has information about the new student orientation. So since many of you are new to eAchieve, make sure you go to the new student orientation and check that out so that you know how to navigate around in the online environment. It also has information that there are some getting started activities which are due by this Friday and how to get to those. And I'll show you where those are too. Okay? So make sure you check out the announcements every time you open the class. And then there's getting started. That's what you do first week. So you click on that button. There's information how to get to orientation if you're not quite sure. First thing to do, second thing to do, and so on. So you just work your way down. And so there'll be a video to watch and a quiz to take. So once this video is done, I'll post it in here. And then you're going to take this little quiz. All you have to do is open up. Often you click on the titles of things, it gets them to work. And then all you'd have to do is just say begin, and there'll be questions to answer. You click on stuff and multiple choice, true, false, whatever it might be. Or maybe short answer, stuff like that. Okay, so that'll be what you do the first day. Notice there's a little way to navigate up here. So if I want to go back to where I was, I click on that title, and now I'm back. And then there'll be a discussion board. This is kind of an interesting case. Make sure you check that out. And then we're going to communicate with each other about it. You'll write an answer, you'll post it, and then once you've posted, you'll see other people's posts, and you respond to your classmates. And then you go back and forth. It's like a conversation over the computer. So make sure you follow those directions and get that turned in on day 2. Day 3, you're going to show me that you can convert a Google Doc to a PDF and hand that in. And then also, fourth thing to do, send me a check-in email on Friday so that I know how you're doing, maybe a little bit more about you, why you're taking this class, and so on. Okay? And then there's a link to the Student Resource Center if you want to go there. All right, a couple other things that are key to doing well in this class. Checking on the PACE chart early and often. Notice it looks a little different if you're a returning student. You can actually have check boxes now. You can check off when you've got things done. Notice that also everything in blue is a formative, which means it's a skill building activity. It's not directly incorporated in your grade, but it's good to do them because it'll help you do a better job on the summatives, which are the graded assignments. Summatives are in red, so you can see which things are due. So this is your best and last resource to know exactly what's due when, because sometimes things don't always show up in my grades, and I'll show you that in a second. So notice that there's a very distinct pattern of how this class works. You take a formative quiz. It's called a gateway quiz. Once you've done that, it pops open this other stuff, and I'll show you that in a second too. So these assignments won't be visible immediately because I'm trying to encourage you to go over the introductory material and learn a little bit of background before you try to do the assignments. Okay, that's the purpose of that. Notice that there's also information about live classes. We'll have a live class every Thursday at 1 p.m. Okay? So it'll keep doing that week after week. Notice that there are progress reports at week 4, week 8, week 12. And then you'll get a final grade at the end. Okay, this final week assignment is a little bit more involved than a typical week assignment. It's worth 3 target grades. You want to make sure that you do a good job on that. You can even start, notice that there's no specific assignment, week 17, you can even get started on that. As you're finishing up any assignments that you have left, you can also get started on the final week a little bit early. All right, so that's the pace chart. Okay, let's see. You can also attend live e-sessions, or we can do a private e-session if you request one. It looks a little different if you're a returning student, and we got Collaborate Ultra now. It's a new version. And all you have to do when you come to my class is click on Course Room and join Course Room, and you'll be in. Some places you'll see that there's actually set up sessions. Like, for example, let's say you take a class and there's like session for the 8 o'clock people, session for the 10 o'clock, you may have to click on an additional step to get in, but not in here, right? Once sessions are done, I record them, and you'll be able to access them in this button called Recorded Sessions. There'll be the name of the session, the week, and so on, so you can find what you need. So if you can't attend live, you can see the same information in a recording. Please also check out course information. This has got good stuff in there. Come on. It's got grading policies. That's important to check out. And etiquette, academic honesty. Don't cheat. Do your own work. Everything in your own words. Cite sources if you use them. Never ever copy from other students. Okay. Grading policies. There's a general one for eAchieve, and also make sure you check out the one that's specific to science. Okay. If you're not used to target grading, basically the idea is that we try to look for progress that you're improving as you go along, and we're looking for specific skills. Like are you evaluating information? Are you getting the facts right? Are you thinking of this in terms of how do these different ideas connect? Right? It explains the difference between formative and summative assignments, the fact that you can revise things to try to improve your grade, what it means to get advanced, proficient, or approach incomplete, and then how this gets converted ultimately to a grade. For example, let's say you get advanced, pro as your different target grades. You'll get an AB. Advanced, approaching, BC. Okay? Most people should be able to achieve at least, you have to achieve at least an approaching in each target, so you'll end up with at least a C if you've done enough of the work and good enough quality. Okay, so this class is definitely doable. Key thing is to stay caught up. Make sure you redo any incompletes or NEE grades. Those need to be revised before the end of the class. If you ever see S or U, that just means it's like pass or fail. S is it's fine, you get to move on. U, you need to fix something. Please redo and resubmit. All right, so that's course information. There's also stuff about logging in. Staff information, that's me. So here's my email, here's my phone number. Call me, it'll leave a message and I'll get back to you. Typically, whenever we have class on a Thursday, we will have class from 1 to 2 p.m. And tells you a little bit about me if you're interested. I've been teaching for a long time, and this will be my 3rd year at eAchieve, and I love it here. And I'm hoping you will like our school too, and you'll continue to take more classes with us, because we want you here too. All right, so when you're ready to do the work, you go to the lesson button, and you'll find that every week is divided, or every unit is divided up by weeks. And then once you click on the title, it'll have a very specific format. It'll have unit outline, it'll tell you what targets, I gotta fix T4 there, and it'll tell you what assignments are going to be due this unit during these weeks. And then you won't see anything else. You're like, where's my stuff? Well, you got to take and do the gateway quiz first, like I mentioned before. So look in the resources folder. It'll tell you like what chapters of the book are helpful, what websites, videos, things that will help you do well in this particular unit. When you've looked that stuff over, you're going to go and take the quiz. And then once you pass the quiz with at least an approaching or better, then the other stuff will open. I'm going to take off the student mode for a second and show you what I see as a teacher and what you will see once you pass your quiz. So if I go back in that same folder, you see, once I pass that quiz, now I'll get a folder for week 2 and week 3. So if I open week 2, I open the folders, you'll see there's resources to use, practice assignments, and then I open up the assessment thing once I've looked those over, and it'll tell me what to do. There's a little tutorial on this. It's kind of a fun solve it kind of activity. And then there's like a document to open to fill out, like a lab format or something. And when you're done, you'll save it, and then you click on, see how it looks like a compass? You click on the title here, and it'll give you a place to submit your work. Okay, you scroll down, it'll say browse my computer. My phone. Or you can, if it ends up being something that you can't submit a PDF, you could submit the link here or leave me a little message about something here. And once you've got everything all attached, you click submit in the lower right, and it'll send it to me for grading. Okay? So that's what you'll see every week. It'll be very consistent. They'll have the same little pattern each unit that you do. When you get done and you're ready for the final week, there's a assignment that's another kind of simulated solve it type of mystery, and it's a bit more involved than your typical assignment. So make sure you leave yourself enough time to do a good job on this, because you want to click open the website and the directions, make your own document for the answers, and it's got multiple parts, and a lot of times it won't let you go to the next part until you finish the first part. So you want to make sure that you leave yourself time to work on those so you do a good job, because it's worth 3 target grades. And you can't really pass the class without doing this assignment. So please make sure you leave yourself time. Maybe start week 17 to get that done on time. All right. So other nifty things available to you are you can access the discussion boards here, or you go back into kid mode. Or you can get to them in the lesson area as well. So there's 2 different ways to get to the discussion area. My grades, visit early and often. Once you start having target grades posted, and they're not updated daily, but they're updated close to grading times, like week 4, 8, 12, or again. So don't expect them to be graded. It's not like a running total, but we will update fairly often. And then it shows you what the different things are. Okay? Remember, because some of the things are adaptive release, they don't always show up here. So checking the pace chart is important to get the full list of what is due. Once those formatives open them, then they show up on the My Grades. I don't know why it has to work that way, but that's the way it works. All right, so there's another way to keep track of target progress. And if you contact me and say, how am I doing? I'll probably say, how does it look on your target progress sheet? So open this up right away in the beginning of the class, make a copy, save it to your forensic science folder, and then keep track. Once you get a grade, plop it in there. And then it'll say, ooh, I'm not done with target 1, or uh-oh, I got an incomplete, I got it fixed. So it's a good way to keep track of things, and it's split up by target, and it'll help you keep track of how you're doing. Okay? So please make sure you take advantage of those tools to help you out. And then the textbook, there's a link right here. I recommend bookmarking it so you can get to it easily. Got a new book this year. It's very exciting for me. And there's all sorts of resources in there for you. Okay? SRC means Student Resource Center. It says all kinds of general information. It's got access to go to live sessions for that orientation. And for example, you pick your grade, say you're in 11th grade, you click on there and it'll take you to the live session when it starts. Okay? All right. And then you also will notice that there's the My Logins area. That would be something that you can use to find the logins for your different classes. Literacy aids. I am not using this a lot right now, but I'm going to keep adding to it. But there's some interesting things on how how to take notes, how to do different things. How-tos. Like I'm going to replace this with this video when I get it done. But how to use different things, creating documents, creating presentations, things like that. And then websites. There's a few things that are helpful. Like eAchieve Library has dictionaries, encyclopedias, stuff like that. One of my favorites in many ways is Forensic Science Simplified. All you do is click on this, go to the website, you click on these different little topics. They got really good to the point descriptions of things. Okay, so that should get you started. Contact me if you need help. Contacting by email is the fastest way to get hold of me. Before I leave, I'll point out that if you would like to create a new and exciting banner for this class, feel free to do so. All you need is a picture, eAchieve, Mrs. Schulteis in there, and your name in there somewhere as the author of it, and I will post it if it's school appropriate and related to forensic science. All right, well, take care, and good luck with your first week. See you at our first E session on Thursday at 1 p.m. Bye.